This is the all-new Redmi 15C, and for a price of 138,000 naira, it comes with a 120Hz display, the MediaTek Helio G81 processor, a 50 megapixel camera setup, and some features which I didn't even expect to see. So should you buy it in 2025? Well, keep watching to find out. Let's kick things off with the unboxing experience. What do you get in the box? Well, inside you first get the smartphone, obviously, and after that you get a couple of paperwork, a SIM ejector tool, a TPU case, USB Type-C cable, and then a charger. So just like last year, Redmi gives us everything in the box. And if you are enjoying this video, kindly like the video and smash that subscribe button right now for more videos just like this one. Thank you. Next up is the design and build quality. Comparing the design of this phone to last year's Redmi 14C, I would say that though the design is an actual upgrade, it's not actually better, and I have some reasons why. One is that the camera design isn't a new one. It looks like the Note 12's design, which isn't as good as the model on the 14C, even though that's just a single camera and a flash. And secondly, a circle camera model is just way better. It balances well on surfaces and keep out of the way of fingers, no matter which hand which you are using to hold it. What about the build quality? Well, this aspect has one of the major features which I think makes upgrading actually worth it, but I'm getting there. This phone is constructed entirely from plastic, as you expect for this price, but there's also a silicone polymer version. And with the plastic, I'm quite upset that it's a super glossy finish. It looks and feels super slippery, and that's not a good thing. But don't mind me, I'm just nitpicking. The way they designed it is phenomenal, as it glows in different lighting conditions to give it that beautiful pattern and aesthetic. It is still a fingerprint magnet, and the only way to counter it is to use the case provided in the box, as that keeps the design intact and even makes the phone much more durable. But that's not even the best bit. Last year's 14C had IP54 rating, which protects against dust and water splashes. With the 15C, Redmi is introducing a much better IP64 rating, which is not just splash proof but actually waterproof. Before we address the display, let's first talk about the external features. On the top of the phone you get nothing. The left side houses a micro SD card slot which can allow 2 nano SIM cards and a memory card. On the right side is the volume rockers and power button, which doubles as a fingerprint scanner, and it's pretty fast. Not the fastest and most reliable, but pretty good. At the bottom you get a headphone jack, a microphone, a USB Type-C port, and a single button firing set of speakers, which is okay for the price. Now let's talk about the display, and I'm quite disappointed that Redmi chose to leave it just as it was last year. Nothing improved, from the teardrop notch to the Gorilla Glass 3 protection. It's still the same 720p IPS panel with a 120Hz refresh rate. The screen just got slightly bigger from 6.8 inches to 6.9 inches. But for the price, I'd say that this is still a very good enough display for any scenario. The 120Hz refresh rate is pretty smooth, though it constantly fluctuates from 90Hz. When consuming content, the colors are quite punchy, contrasty, and highly detailed, making it a very amazing experience. So even though they didn't improve anything here, you won't have anything to complain about. Onto the performance. How good is the Redmi 15C in handling day-to-day tasks? Well, this phone is powered by the MediaTek Helio G81 processor, and that means it's almost exactly going to be the same as the 14C in terms of speed and performance. Also, because of the Samsung Galaxy A07 brought the Helio G91, that means that this G81 isn't the best option anymore at this price point, but it's still very good at what it does. Apps run pretty smoothly, and as far as you don't overload it, you should barely see any signs of stutter and lagging. When it comes down to gaming, it's a quite decent experience. Not only can you run basic titles, you can also run even higher demanding ones like Call of Duty Mobile and PUBG Mobile, and it won't be a problem. The Redmi 15C also comes with a boot storage of 128GB paired with 4GB of RAM, but if you want a much better experience, I'd say you should go for the 6GB or 8GB option to make things much easier. But what about the software? The Redmi 15C runs on HyperOS 2 slapped on Android 15, and it's still basically the same budget Redmi software experience from last year. Same app layout, same design, and same bloatware. You get some AI like Gemini for assistance, just question and answers. But as for other crazy AI features like the circle to search, photo editing tools, and so on, you get none of that, which isn't that bad, but I believe they should have done even better. Let's talk about the battery experience a little bit. One thing I really found funny about last year's Redmi 14C was that they provided a 33 watt fast charger in the box, whilst the phone only supported 18 watts. and the battery size at 5160 mAh was considerably more than the competition, which used just 5000. However, since almost every phone at this price now comes with either a 5160 or 5200 mAh battery, Redmi decided to shake things up and bring in a massive 6000 mAh battery, and this is one of the best aspects of this phone, if not the best. No matter what you are doing, either a light or heavy user, this battery should last at least a day. And when it comes to charging, not only are they providing a 33-watt charger, but the phone actually supports 33 watts fast charging, which is very impressive at this price point. That leads us to the final category, the cameras. The camera experience is relatively the same with the 14C from last year, just a 50 megapixel main camera with an auxiliary lens. The photos are pretty decent, not much has improved, but it's not actually a worst case scenario. I'm also really happy that the colors are pretty consistent as far as you give it enough light to work with. Video on the raw is capped at 1080p and there's still a lot of improvements to be made. There's no stabilization, so it's pretty bad and it just looks over sharpened, which I don't think makes things better. On the front, they downgraded the selfie camera from 13 megapixels to just 8 megapixels, and I didn't like that, but it's decent and can also shoot in 1080p as well. So should you buy this phone in 2025 or should you skip it? It all boils down to your preferences. If you are someone who is using the 14C and wants to upgrade to this one, I don't think it's actually worth it at all because of how minimal its upgrades are. But in comparison to the competition, it has its own place. Sure, it doesn't have AI features and the fastest charging speeds, but it brings a much bigger 6000 mAh battery and some other features which make it absolutely worth its asking price, and for that I 100% recommend it. But did you know that Samsung's latest budget phone, the A07, has twice the performance at the same price as this one? To check it out, click the card on the screen right now and I'll tell you all about it.